But let's get into NBA Finals predictions, man. Who do you have winning this matchup between the Celtics and Dallas Mavericks?
All right, man. So like I see why people say are really excited for these finals. So I think that this is one of those finals that we know who's going to win. It's a foregone conclusion. It's really, really close. Dynamic duos, very good defenses, prolific offense. I'm gonna go with the best player, the team with the best player. I think Mavs winning 6. I'm not confident in that pick. I like to be right in my picks when it comes to the finals. Not really confident, but I think that Luka and Kyrie's veteran leadership, his experience in these moments in the stage. Luka, who hasn't been phased at all since entering the league. I mean, the guy who's made All NBA 5 years in a row. He's been in the league 6 seasons. He made first team All NBA. That's crazy. And in fact, that he's getting better as these series progress. It's hard for me to go against him, man. I got Mavs at 6.
Well, I got my Celtics hat on. I got the Celtics green on. I'm going Celtics in 6. I think the shooting of the Celtics is just going to overwhelm Dallas and put them in a position where they're going to have to score, but they're also going to have to try to get stops. And I think if the Celtics are able to start off strong with their shooting, especially integrating KP back into it, I think the Celtics have an advantage there. Now, I thought Charles Barkley said something on the broadcast the other night. I think he said along the lines like the Celtics could win without Kristaps Porzingis. And I was just like, everyone, that has been the thing. And I'm just like, I don't know if that could happen. But if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum geared up from last series into this series, I think there's a chance they can go back and forth with those guys. I think Al Horford's going to hold up. And especially, and it's going to be, you're going to need some production from your bench. But I think the Celtics' depth with Drew Holiday, Derek White, with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, with KP and Horford, I think that's just going to overwhelm the Dallas Mavericks, because you sit there and you look at what Dallas has been able to overcome. They haven't been offensively this good in those series. Like Minnesota, when you think of Minnesota, outside of Naz Reid, Cat, and Anthony Edwards, offensively, you don't really think of them as an offensive powerhouse. You're thinking more of them for their defense. In the OKC series, SGA was really all it is. Chet Holmgren is going to be great. Jalen Williams is going to be great. But you saw their inexperience at that point in time.
Exactly.
You look at what they did in the first series, James Harden, Paul George. Historically, when it's on them, it's not the best outcome for their teams when it's just dependent on them. With Kawhi, it's a different story. But with those two, I don't know. Especially with James Harden, we're all not fans. We're not all supporters of his playoff career. One of the best regular season players ever, but playoffs, no, it gets murky. But looking at it from that standpoint, and then I'm looking at the experience of the Boston Celtics, they've gotten to the finals. Like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, their best players have gotten to the finals. Joe Mazzulla, even though he wasn't the head coach, he was on that staff. So there is experience there. You got Sam Cassell there as well, who has gotten to the finals. You got Drew Holiday, who won an NBA championship, who's gotten to the finals, won an NBA championship, was a vital pole in that. I just believe that little tidbits of an experience in Boston getting there a couple of years ago and it being in this favorable position to get there. I think even without Kristaps Porzingis, I know it sounds blasphemous, I think they can win it. I believe they can win it without Kristaps. With Kristaps Porzingis, I think it's a lock. I think the Celtics win in 6. I just think that experience, that hunger that they have, even Kristaps Porzingis, because now this even adds a little bit more. He's facing his old team, which outcasted him to Washington, made him look like a bad guy. Him and Luka didn't get along. Mark Cuban kind of just wrote him off as well. So looking at it from that standpoint and the hunger that JT and Jaylen Brown have, I think the Celtics finish it in 6, and I think it's going to be an impressive series. I think it's going to be a great series, highly entertaining, and I can't wait. It happens on Thursday, man. I believe at 8. Hopefully, no, I think it starts at 9. I think they started at 9.
I think 8:30. It's not 9. It's like 8:30.
Please, NBA, if you're listening, do it at 8, please, so people can go to sleep, please. Thank you. The games are going to go. The games are going to go to 11.
I got my iPad right here. I'll let you know the score of the game right now. I'm about to let you know what time the game is at.
But if I got to be honest, those late games, those Western Conference games coming on. Okay, good. Okay, that's fine. But those late Western Conference games coming on at 10.
Yeah. I think ever since last season, they moved the finals up an hour early because a lot of people have been complaining about these finals late. Especially on the East Coast, not at 9:30. It's like, come on, yo. Like, this is crazy.
No, like that was tough during the NBA playoffs, those Western Conference stretches. I'm like, yo, it's getting like 12, 1 o'clock, and I'm trying to stay up. And the games are good. I'm not saying the games are bad or anything like that, but as NBA fans, we all need sleep. We all need sleep. But the NBA Finals happening on Thursday, man. Of course, plug your podcast, man, again, before we get out of here.
Yeah, so the Mr. Vincent podcast, you can find it wherever you listen to your favorite pods at. I'm on YouTube as well, too, with the podcast. So, yeah, I'll have my episode out probably in a few days. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Please, everyone, check that out. He does great stuff. He's covering basketball, wrestling, football season's coming up. He's going to be getting into that as well. So please check that out. The Mr. Podcast. It's on YouTube. Check it out. Check it out on Spotify as well. But that will do it for this episode of the Basketball Soapbox. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you everyone for watching, listening, etc. And the NBA Finals are here, and we'll see what happens with it, man. Thank you for joining me, man.
Yes, sir, man. Take care.
All right, man.